Last time I talked about the X-Men 97 reboot from Disney Plus, it was actually in a positive light because Beau De Mayo was talking about he only wanted writers and performers on the show that were actually fans of the original X-Men. But this little article came out from CBR. Some news came about it. I saw it earlier a few days ago, and I wasn't really interested because it was more of the typical nonsense coming from the Twitter mafia about why they picked this person for this voice acting. You absolutely must have the right person, the right skin tone, the right biology, I guess, for a voice acting role, which is absolute nonsense. A voice actor is a voice actor. That's the purpose. You don't see their face, but Twitter doesn't seem to believe the same thing. But this little article comes out. X-Men 97 showrunner Beau De Mayo leaves Twitter after Sunspot whitewashing controversy. And I mainly want to talk about Beau De Mayo's response because it is absolutely glorious. X-Men 97 head writer Beau De Mayo announces that he is leaving Twitter amid controversy surrounding the voice actor for Sunspot. X-Men 97 head writer and executive producer. This information just makes me want to watch it more and more. I love it. Has left Twitter. In a statement posted on his Twitter page, De Mayo announced that he was leaving the social media platform. Good, because you shouldn't get your opinions from Twitter. It's nothing more than nonsensical keyboard warriors screaming to the heavens, hoping that Senpai will notice them. And yet, they really have no buying power. They have no financial backing for the products that they screech about. Because normal people, the blue collar, the white collar, whatever collar they want to wear. But the vast majority of the buying power comes from people who just walk away when they're disgusted with a product or decisions, or they just throw money at a project that they adore. They don't talk about it. They don't get on Twitter. They don't get on social media. They just vote with their wallet, and that's about it. Statement posted on his Twitter page that Mayo announced. I read that already. Quote, well, guys, sad to say, this page will be going dark for a bit. Good. Get away from social media. It's toxic. But stay on YouTube. Could be a week. Could be a year. I haven't slept. Advocation matters. I value fans' opinion. Twitter is not your fans. They're not. It's a bunch of screeching eels and owls and hens who wake up in the morning looking for something to be offended by. I value fans' opinions, but the sheer amount of vitriol in the last 24 hours is truly taxing and actually risks working against what you're trying to do, as it's now closed off an access point because I have to protect myself, he wrote. De Mayo explained that decided to leave Twitter. Editors, people. De Mayo explained that decided to leave Twitter after being attacked, quote, over a leak I can't really discuss at the moment. Please don't. If the leak is true, don't change. Don't change for Twitter. No, just don't. I am not the typical person you see in this position with this sort of property, and when users start trying to report me or get me fired, it's disheartening. It's not disheartening, it's disgusting. Reporting him for choosing a voice actor, for choosing someone that he believes is the best person for the job. I thought that's what Twitter wanted. They said the same thing. They said it over and over again about Halle Bailey, but I guess it doesn't count when it's not the right melanin content. Huh. But this is the most thing. Guy Augustin, I looked on Google to see how to pronounce that, and that's what YouTube and Google said on how to pronounce this name. I hope I'm correct. Guy Augustina will voice Roberto da Costa, Sunspot, in X-Men 97. Now, if you don't know, Sunspot's a rather much darker individual in the comic book, so people are a little bit upset about the lack of a tan with this gentleman. So, now this is where the fun starts. Let's go over to Twitter to see this. So, one of the top responses is, so, you're whitewashing now. And Beau De Mayo just goes, his response is, don't even. Look who you're talking to. Moving on. Another response, it's unfortunate that this is how you choose to respond. I was looking forward to the show, but your behavior in response to this very valid criticism means I won't be tuning in. Good, you won't be missed. He will get more fans. If he sticks to this, he will get more fans than he loses. If he does not bend the knee and keeps X-Men the way X-Men is supposed to be, how X-Men has been for decades in the past, and sticks to his gun and legitimately picks the best people for the job, he will gain more fans than he will lose from Twitter for sure. I'll be sure to my friends that their X-Men... Oh, God. What do I expect from Twitter? You can't write, you can't read, you can't think for yourself. I'll be sure to... probably saying, I'll be sure to tell my friends that are X-Men fans don't watch either. So, here's the fun part. It's not valid criticism. It's an uninformed one, and I will defend my decisions and my crew, which includes several POC who have experienced the same hate and hardship that the X-Men do. Be careful with your virtue signaling, but I respect that you're standing up to morons. They are not toys for you to debate. Oh, it gets better. And I will not indulge fans believing that they are entitled to be the arbiter of someone else's identity and whether or not they are this or that enough. It's ignorant and a violation of that individual's personhood, and I will get in your way. Such behavior swaps class for disrespect. At a proper time, there'll be plenty of insights into what decisions we made and why. When Marvel gives me the go, I will be very frank and transparent, but now I smell the same scent of enraged engagement that's too common in our culture. Where we myopically spot a single fallen leaf we don't like for some reason. Okay, let me try this again. Where we myopically spot a single leaf we don't like for some reason and then demand the whole forest be burned down to satisfy our riled up indignation. Save yourself some stress and just wait. You may just be surprised. Now, this is the absolute perfect response to criticism. You criticize Ariel. Respond with this. Just say, wait and see. Wait for the finished product. Screeching about a black dwarf, a black elf in Rings of Power. Respond with something like this. Wait and see. You wait and see the finished product. Granted, the finished product for Rings of Power was garbage for most people. But still, don't come out and insult the fans, whether they are for it or against it, for whatever reason, whether they are conservative leaning, liberal leaning, left, right, far, on the middle, on the fence, or whatever, regardless of what side they stand on, politically, religiously, and whatnot, this is almost the perfect response for all of them. More producers, writers, actors, and actresses, maybe you should respond with this. Wait and see. We don't burn the forest for the trees. We don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. There's a spider in the house. Burn the whole complex down. No, we don't do that. We adjust. This is fantastic. Unless the casting is false, how is the frustration about a non-black person voicing a black character? I don't know. Go look at The Simpsons, you moron. Your description of him is false, and you are indeed arbitrating his identity by discounting that he is mixed race and not just black. Ooh, dear. This response is fantastic. We do not burn the forest for the trees. The leak De Mayo mentioned in his statement concerns a Twitter account, X-Men Update, which posted on May 28th that Brazilian actor Guy Augustini would voice Roberto da Costa. Some fans immediately began to voice their displeasure. I doubt they are actual legitimate fans, but what do I know? At the casting, remarking that Marvel once again whitewashing. He's Brazilian. He's not white. Please, just because he has light skin doesn't mean, not everyone with a lighter tan is Caucasian, you dipsticks. Whitewashing the fan favorite X-Men character. Sunspot's been around for a while. I don't think... I could be wrong. Is he a fan favorite? Let me know in the comments. De Mayo, who is a POC... person of color. Okay, I have a legitimate question real quick. Almost 10 minutes into the video. Colored person is not an okay thing to say. Hasn't been for a very long time. Person of color is perfectly politically correct. When the hell did that happen? Can someone please explain to me? We take words and we flip them around, and suddenly they're okay to say. They're not disrespectful. Huh? Colored people, disrespectful. Verboten. Absolutely big fat no-no. Person of color. Perfectly fine. Someone help that makes sense to me. I don't think you'll succeed because it doesn't make sense on any way, shape, or form. POC is also accused of being a wow. Dude's a race traitor. This is what the Twitter fucking rage warriors, the oppression Olympic warriors will do to you. Call you a race traitor, call you an Uncle Tom. If you don't agree with their exact ideology, they'll call you a closet misogynist if a woman speaks out against stupidity like this. My God. And yet, others like myself who actually legitimately criticize a character and how they're performed will be called racist because that character's a black woman. We're not criticizing the woman, we're criticizing the character. Well, okay. But how are we the racists and not them when this stuff happens? And I'm, good Lord, getting off on tangents here. Accused of being a race traitor, prompting him to begin responding to replies in the initial tweet, which seemingly heightened the controversy and eventually led to De Mayo deciding to leave Twitter for the time being, which is actually a good idea because arguing with someone on Twitter who has their head so far up their ass that they can see their teeth, it's pointless. Because they have made up their mind, they are going to be offended by some decision. They wake up in the morning and in search of something to be offended by in order to validate their pathetic existence. It's worth noting that Marvel Studios has not officially unveiled the majority of the voice cast for X-Men 97. Don't change it, don't change it. If this is true, don't change it. This includes who will be playing Sunspot. It's a voice actor. They're doing a voice. Are we going to get rid of the voice of Bart Simpson? Rainbow Bright, very white character, voiced by a black woman. Bart Simpson, voiced by a woman. It's nonsensical to care who's voicing these characters. They're doing a voice. They're not acting. They're doing a voice. The inflection, the emotion, the tone of the voice. It is just a voice. If you came out and told me that a black dude's been doing the voice of Homer Simpson, I wouldn't give two shits or a fuck at all. Because he's just doing a goddamn voice. But this is what Twitter does. This is what the lunatics on Twitter do, the Twitter mafia. They get up and they just find something. Oh, that's not exactly what it needs to be. In my opinion matters. Yours doesn't. All day long. Sunspot all the De Mayo's comments certainly lead credence to X-Men Updates tweet that Augustini is voicing the character. Cal Dodd, Wolverine, Lenore Zane are among the voice actors for X-Men the Animated Series who have been confirmed to be returning. If you don't know what X-Men 97, because I'm sure every video is someone's first, X-Men 97 will be an animated continuation of X-Men the Animated Series. Like I said earlier in the video, Beau De Mayo got my attention first months ago when he said that they are only hiring people to work on the show that are actual fans of the original product. This is a plus. This is a massive bonus because if you get people that actually care about the product, then you avoid situations like Netflix on Witcher where they do not like the source material and the story goes so far off the rails that, well, people don't want to be involved. Even your star, Henry Cavill, doesn't want to be involved. If they can avoid that with this one, hey, I think it's going to be a success. Yes, it's from Disney. But hey, diamond in the rough perhaps, moving in a direction that legitimate fans, people who are going to tune in, people who are going to talk positively about it, and not just for superficial, nonsensical reasons, it could be a plus. I'm keeping an open mind. Remains to be seen. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to talk about it. But hey, let me know what you think in the comments. Is it a good to stay off Twitter for bullshit like this? Is De Mayo's response just absolutely chef's kiss? But let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate you making it this far. Have a good one.